Alright, here we're going to do a quick tutorial on hue and saturation adjustments. It's always good if you have to adjust for certain colors not quite appearing as they should, as well as the saturation. Sometimes images are overly bright and you have to tone them down, and vice versa. So what I would like to do is show you a couple ways you can make this change. Got my image open first. What I want to do is go up here to Image, Adjustments, and Hue, Saturation. You can also go press Control or Command U depending on which computer you're using, and it will pop up this screen right here. So basic controls: if I want to change the colors overall over the whole image globally, this is what you would want to change. And so you can make these adjustments and to the whole image. I'm going to go back to 0 on that. Saturation, you can intensify those colors, make them overly bright. Now it looks like we all have sunburns. And you can also go totally desaturate it and take it all back to black and white. The lightness and darkness will basically do with that, or lightness basically just controls the exposure of the whole shot. I usually don't even touch that because there are other settings that do a much better job of making those adjustments. So there we go. We have basic changes you can make. Now once you make the changes in the this mode right here, you cannot go back and alter those changes unless you go back in history on your history panel to change them. And the problem with that is you then end up losing other steps that you may have completed in the meantime. So I'm going to cancel this and show another way. With that image selected, I'm going to go up here to my adjustments panel and click on this one that says Hue Saturation. And you'll notice what happens is it brings up another little layer that is tied to this link right here, or this image right below it. So what I want to do with that is make my adjustments here, and it's the same controls as before, but since it's being added as another layer, I can always go back and change those again. So this is right now under master control, which means I can basically control the whole image and the colors that it's mixing with it. Now I can also do something like this and colorize, and what that does is turn my image into a monochrome image. So now the hue and saturation, or the hue slider, now controls everything. And so if I'm over the blue area, then it's going to make it appear like everything is different tones of blue. And so you can also adjust these as well and make it super bright if you want to. So I'm going to cancel that out, uncheck the colorize, and show another part to this. Right now it's under master. Let's say I want to only adjust the greens in this picture, like my shirt. So I'll change this to the greens, and then from here I can say, well, maybe I want that green to look more warm toned. I can slide that over here. Now notice it's picking everything that is showing green in the picture, and so the reflection on that rail behind me also changes along with the slider and the color that's being chosen. And same thing goes with the saturation as well. It's only going to adjust the saturation of that of that green family of colors. And so there we go. Let's say I wanted to adjust blues. Let's see what happens. Um, now there's not a whole lot of blues in this image, so a whole lot of nothing tends to happen, and that's fine. Magentas, see what happens there. See, my daughter's shirt is now going crazy, changing colors. And so if there's a certain colored object in your image that you would like to only adjust, then this is the best way to do it, using hue and saturation. There are other ways, but this is one good way to start. Reds, we'll see what happens if I adjust that. Oh, yep, there goes our skin tones. Have a lot of red in them, and so I can make us all look like aliens if I wanted to. So there we go. Now, let's say I went with something crazy like that and was okay with it. Close that down. I can go on, make other changes to it, and then come back. Say I wanted to make some adjustments to what I had. I can do that. Here's my setting that I had for the reds. I can adjust it back to 0, zero that out if I take it back to normal. So my other settings were a little off too. I can go back and adjust those, make them more normal if I like. That's the hue and saturation adjustment layer. Once I save this, if I save it as a JPEG, it's going to flatten these two layers into one, and so that it cannot be readjusted like we had just done here. If I save this as a Photoshop file, it will save all the layers that you've created, including adjustment layers that you can go back and adjust as needed. So that's all I'm going to feature right now for hue and saturation.